But I was reading something, about women being far more likely to get osteoarthritis than men. Whether it's hormonal, I don't know. Is it hormonal?
Or whether it's pregnancy,
Yeah.
hormones, the drop in estrogen,
Yeah.
after menopause, all that stuff. Certainly, I think pregnancy's got something to do with it. So when you think about us, we've been talking about our knees and our fingers and all of our joints. That being a woman and a woman who's had babies, we're on the back foot anyway, aren't we? So we really need to look after our joints.
We do indeed. I was thinking when I was about it that, when your babies were little and they got to be 18 months old, or not so little, but you'd have them on your hip and you'd be doing something else. Mm-hmm. The pressure you put on your knees abnormally, different angles, and
Absolutely.
your back. And I hadn't noticed that until I went to do child health, and I hadn't carried a baby for ages. But when up there doing child health, you always had a kid on your hip.
Yeah.
And I really got sore because my body was out of kilter from what it would normally be. When you had your own babies, you sort of built up the muscle on one side to carry that little person around.
And building up the muscle on one side or doing something on one side is going to affect how we stand for the rest of our lives. Because I got so tall so quickly, I always slouched. And now I'm always told, we're similar height. I'm always told that I'm crooked. That I have no idea I'm crooked anymore, but I'm very crooked. And so, obviously there's something, going on there with the body, and no wonder backs hurt and everything hurts. But I was thinking about the joints and how easily they can wear out, and that how muscles we can keep
need to be supportive of.
Absolutely. We keep strengthening our muscles, but our joints will wear out. So we've got to look after them because...
Not just knees, arms, everything.
Everything.
You'd be able to carry all that wine so much better if you had better shoulder muscles.
Shoulder is a big one, and elbow, and fingers, all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we have. I guess it's about it's being aware. There's so much that perhaps. I guess as nurses we're aware of a lot of stuff, but it's hard to pertain it to our own bodies, isn't it? That's a big thing. We might have the knowledge, but then we don't necessarily do much for ourselves because women always settle for often settle for second best, and we don't think about our own bodies. That's a big one.
And I think as nurses, you Mrs. Fix It, so you fix other people's problems.
It's everybody else but ourselves.
Yes.
Yes, that's so often the way it is. But that's often the way it is with women. Women are the nurturers, and it's what women do. We make sure everybody else is fine, but when we think about ourselves, probably we're bottom of the pile. So I guess it's having the awareness, and it's having the education and awareness to actually look after ourselves now. And I'm thinking, is now not the time? Maybe we do have a bit more time. We're not running around after the children.
Oh gosh, yeah. I thought you were going to say we had to die.
No,
no. I think that the message needs to get out there to women.
It's time to look after us.
Yeah, so that you can do all these wonderful things. You don't have to spend a fortune. You don't have to go to the gym, or all those sorts of things. There's stuff you can do at home. I love going to the gym because I put my AirPods in and listen to my podcasts and. It's time out. But if you are motivated to do things at home, you can get the soup cans and do exercises and do all your hand stuff. I think it's vitally important that we recognise that we need to be, as you said, proactive, rather than when something goes wrong, trying to fix it.
It's absolutely. In fact, you were the first one to say that to me.
Well, I was. That's my quote.
That is your quote.
But it is so important, I think, and to have the mindset that just because your birth certificate says you're a certain age, you don't have to be that age.
You don't have to. There might be some days we wake up and feel it, but there's things we can do to keep going, or stop if we need to. That's the other thing. Have a doona day if we need to have a doona day.
I'm not a doona day person.
That's it. Oh, I am. I could be if I had time.
No, I'm not a doona day
But
person.
anyway, just it's about looking after ourselves. But it is time. We're not working as long and as hard as what we used to work, and we're not. Perhaps, certainly we have caring roles. You certainly have a caring role with your husband. And we do with our partners and with our pets and
our babies.
And with anything else that we choose to do with our volunteer work, whatever. But I just think it's time to really start looking after us. And I just think, you know what? We're worth it.
Well, it's interesting because I find I can't sit I'm one of these people who needs to do.
No, you've always been like that.
Yeah, but I need to say to myself, it's like you say, it's okay just to sit. I would never read during the day, but I probably, when I was younger, did.
Ah, but you wouldn't now.
No,
Okay.
I don't find time. Whether I'd fiddle fart around or something, I don't know where it goes, but it goes. I don't know how I ever found time to go to work. But I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I know, and I just think we're very grateful that we can move the way we can, and we can be who we want to be. And I guess the point is that if the time comes when we're not as well, then we'll still be okay, because we'll find a way to.
And I think it's that mental stuff too.
Yes,
it's the mental stuff that is vitally important as having good muscles. You need to think there's something you can do.
Yes.
You don't have to be old.
Don't have to be elderly.
Elderly.
Because we will, and we are growing older by the minute. But that's all right.